All right, let's talk about something truly incredible. Something you own that's working for you every single second of every day. We're diving into the amazing world of natural immunity.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about that? You're walking around, breathing, touching things. You're surrounded by millions of germs all the time. But somehow, most days, you feel totally fine. How is that even possible? Well, the answer is that you have a powerful, built-in defense force.
And that defense force? Honestly, the best way to picture it is like your very own personal superhero system. It's on patrol 24/7, constantly working to protect you from harm. So let's put a name to this. We call it natural immunity. And the idea is actually beautifully simple, right? It's the protection your body builds up after it gets sick with something and then recovers. It's basically learning from experience, just on a microscopic level. Okay, so if it's a superhero system, who exactly is on the team? Let's meet the main players in this incredible squad. All right, so you've got a few key specialists. First up, your white blood cells. Think of these as the soldiers on the front lines. Then you have antibodies. These are like tiny, super smart targeting missiles that lock onto a specific germ and say, hey, this is the bad guy. And then, and this is so important for our story, you have memory cells. These are the intelligence agents. They literally create a file on every single enemy they've ever beaten. Now, to really understand just how amazing this system is, we have to compare what happens the first time a germ invades versus the second time. Trust me, it's a night and day difference. So check this out. The first time a new germ shows up, your body is totally caught by surprise. It takes days to figure out what's going on and mount a defense. That battle is what you feel as being sick. You know, the fever, the aches, feeling tired. But the second time, oh, it is a completely different story. Those memory cells recognize the intruder instantly, sound the alarm, and your immune system just crushes it. It all happens so fast, you often don't even know you were under attack.
Let's make this more concrete with a classic example pretty much everyone knows: chickenpox. It is the perfect case study for seeing natural immunity in action.
So here's how it plays out. First, someone gets infected with the chickenpox virus. They get those classic itchy spots and the fever. That's the first encounter, the first battle. But while they're feeling miserable, their immune system is working overtime, learning the enemy's weaknesses and creating those all-important memory cells. Once they recover, those memory cells stick around, standing guard for the future. And this is the whole point. This is why most people only get chickenpox once in their lives. After that first time, their body has a lifelong blueprint for how to defeat that specific virus. The memory cells are just so effective that the virus gets shut down before it can ever cause a full-blown illness again. That, right there, is the power of natural immunity. But, you know, just like any superhero, this system has its powers and its limits. It's not always a permanent, invincible shield. So how long does this protection actually last? Well, it really depends on the villain. For an enemy like chickenpox, the immunity can last a lifetime. But for those shape-shifting germs, like the common cold or the flu, which are always changing their disguise, well, your immunity might only last for a few months. And that's why you can get a cold year after year. This brings us to a really important question, doesn't it? If getting sick builds such a powerful defense system, should we just let it happen? Is that really the best strategy? And the answer is a pretty clear no. While the immunity you gain is powerful, the process of getting sick is definitely not risk-free. Some illnesses can be incredibly dangerous, even leading to long-term health problems. Plus, while you're sick, you can spread that germ to other people who might be much more vulnerable. That's the fundamental problem. To gain natural immunity, you first have to risk the dangers of the illness itself.
And that's where scientists came up with an absolutely ingenious solution: vaccines. Think of a vaccine like a most wanted poster you show to your immune team. It introduces a harmless piece of a germ or a super weakened version of it to your body. It isn't enough to make you sick, but it's more than enough for your memory cells to study the enemy, learn its weaknesses, and build that permanent file on it. You get all the training with none of the battle. It's the same powerful memory protection without ever having to fight the real war.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? It's that your natural immunity is this dynamic, intelligent, and incredibly powerful system. It learns, it adapts, and it remembers. It truly is your personal superhero, working around the clock to keep you safe. Pretty amazing, isn't it?